One day, Thomas was at the junction when Gordon shuffled in with some freight cars.
Phew,
Remarked Thomas.
what a funny smell.
Can you smell a smell? I can't smell a smell, said Annie.
A funny, musty sort of smell.
Said Thomas.
No one noticed it till you did,
Grunted Gordon.
It must be yours.
Not long ago, he had fallen into a dirty ditch. Thomas enjoyed teasing him about it.
Annie, Clarabelle, do you know what I think it is? It's ditch water.
Before Gordon could answer, Thomas puffed away. Annie and Clarabelle could hardly believe their ears.
He's dreadfully rude. I feel quite ashamed. I feel quite ashamed. He's dreadfully rude.
And to Thomas they said,
You mustn't be rude. You make us ashamed.
but Thomas didn't care a bit.
That was funny. That was funny.
He chuckled. He felt very pleased with himself. Annie and Clarabelle were deeply shocked. They had great respect for Gordon, the big engine. Thomas left the coaches at the station and went off to a mine for some cars. Long ago, miners digging for lead had made tunnels under the ground. Their roofs are strong enough to hold up cars, but not the weight of engines. A large notice warns them not to enter the area. Danger! Engines must not pass this board. Silly old board, thought Thomas. He had often tried to pass it, but had never succeeded. But this morning he had made a plan. The fireman went to throw the switch. Now for my plan, thought Thomas. Bumping the cars fiercely, he jerked his driver off the footplate and followed them into the siding. Come back, yelled his driver.
Fire and smoke, said Thomas. I'm sunk.
And he was.
Oh, dear,
He said,
I am a silly engine.
and a very naughty one, too. I saw you, said Sir Topham Hatt.
Please get me out. I won't do it again.
I'm not sure. We can't lift you out with a crane. The ground's not firm enough.
Let me see. I wonder if Gordon could pull you out.
Yes, sir, said Thomas, but he didn't want to meet Gordon just yet.
Down a mine, is he?
Laughed Gordon.
What a joke. Boop, boop. Little Thomas, we'll have you out in a couple of puffs.
Strong cables were fastened between the two engines.
Are you ready? Heave!
It was a lot harder than they all thought. At last, Thomas was free. I'm sorry I was cheeky, said Thomas.
That's all right, Thomas. You made me laugh,
Replied Gordon.
I'm in disgrace.
So am I, said Thomas.
Why, so you are, Thomas. Shall we form an alliance? You help me and I'll help you.
Right you are, agreed Thomas.
Good, that's settled,
Rumbled Gordon. And buffer to buffer, the Allies puffed home.
Sprout, please.
Sprout, please.
Sprout, please. Sprout, please. Sprout, please.
You have Sprout on demand. Now ask for the channel. Call 866-9-SPROUT today and say,
Sprout, please.
Edward was getting old. His bearings were worn, and he clanked as he puffed along. He was taking empty cattle cars to a market town. The sun shone, birds sang. But Edward was heading for trouble. Come on, he puffed. Oh, oh, screamed the cars. Edward puffed and clanked. The cars rattled and screamed. Some cows were grazing nearby. They were not used to trains. The noise and smoke disturbed them. As Edward clanked by, they broke through the fence and ran across the line. A coupling was broken and some cars were left behind. Edward felt a jerk, but didn't take much notice. He was used to cattle cars. Bother those cars, he thought. Why can't they come quietly? He was at the next station before either he or his driver realized what had happened. When Gordon and Henry heard about the accident, they laughed and boasted. Fancy allowing cows to break your train. They wouldn't dare do that to us. We'd show them. Old Toby was cross. You couldn't help it, Edward. They've never met cows. I have, and I know the trouble they are. Some days later, Gordon rushed through Edward's station. Boop, boop. Mind the cows. Hurry, hurry, puffed Gordon. Don't make such a fuss. Don't make such a fuss, grumbled his coaches. A long stretch of line lay ahead. In the distance was a bridge. It seemed to Gordon that there was something on the bridge. His driver thought so too. Whoa, Gordon, he said and shut off steam. Whew, said Gordon. It's only a cow. Shoo, shoo. He moved slowly onto the bridge, but the cow wouldn't shoo. She had lost her calf and felt lonely. Bleh, she said sadly. Everyone tried to send her away, but she wouldn't go. Henry arrived. What's this? A cow? I'll soon settle her. Be off! Be off! Bleh. Henry backed away nervously. I don't want to hurt her. At the next station, Henry's conductor told them about the cow and warned the signalman that the line was blocked. That must be Bluebell, said the porter. Her calf is here, looking for her mother. Percy will take her along. At the bridge, Bluebell was very pleased to see her calf again, and the porter led them away. Not a word. Keep it secret, whispered Gordon and Henry to each other. They felt rather silly, but the story soon spread. Well, 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 chuckled Edward. Two big engines afraid of a cow. Afraid? Rubbish, said Gordon. We didn't want the poor thing to hurt herself by running up against us. We stopped so as not to excite her. You see what I mean, my dear Edward? Yes, Gordon, said Edward. Gordon felt somehow that Edward saw only too well.
It sounds like there's a new friend on Sprout.
Hi, Mama! Hi, Mama!
Mama Mirabelle is here with home movies to share.
It's movie time!
Meet new friends and learn about exotic animals.
Wow!
And have a Sprout-tastic time down on the savannah.
Let's play!
Whether you swing, swoop, or slither, come along for Mama Mirabelle's home movies every day on the Sprout Channel.
See you on the savannah.
One morning, Edward was waiting to pick up passengers from Thomas's train. Beep, beep. We're late. Where is Thomas? He doesn't usually make us wait.
Oh, dear, what can the matter be?
Sang the fireman.
Johnny's so long and...
Never you mind about Johnny, laughed the driver. Just you climb on the cab and look for Thomas. Can you see him? No, replied the fireman. There's Bertie Bus in a tearing hurry. No need to bother with him, though. Likely he's on a coach tour or something. He clambered down. Stop! Stop! I've got Thomas's passengers, wailed Bertie, roaring up to the gates. It was no good. Edward was gone. Bother, said Bertie. Bother Thomas's fireman not coming to work today. Why did I promise to help the passengers catch the train? That will do, Bertie, said his driver. A promise is a promise, and we must keep it. I'll catch Edward or bust, said Bertie. Oh, my gears and axles, he groaned, toiling up the hill. I'll never be the same bus again. Hooray, hooray, I see him, cheered Bertie as he reached the top. Oh, no, Edward's at the station. No, he stopped at a crossing. Hooray, hooray. Bertie tore down the hill. Well done, Bertie, shouted his passengers. Go it. Bertie skidded into the yard. Wait, wait, cried Bertie. He was just in time to see Edward puff away. I'm sorry, said Bertie. Never mind, said the passengers. After him quickly. Third time lucky, you know. Do you think we'll catch him at the next station, driver? There's a good chance, replied the driver. Our road keeps close to the line, and we can climb hills better than Edward. I'll just make sure. He spoke to the station master. Bertie and the passengers waited impatiently. Yes, we'll do it this time, said the driver. Hooray! Called the passengers as Bertie chased after Edward once more. This hill is too steep. This hill is too steep, grumbled the coaches as Edward snorted in front. They reached the top at last and ran smoothly into the station. Beep, whistled Edward. Get in quickly, please. The conductor blew the whistle, and Edward's driver looked back. But the flag didn't wave. Then he heard Bertie. Everything seemed to happen at once, and the station master told the conductor and driver what had happened. I'm sorry about the chase, Bertie, said Edward. My fault, replied Bertie. Late at junction, you didn't know about Thomas's passengers? Beep, beep. Goodbye, Bertie. We're off, whistled Edward. 3 cheers for Bertie, called the passengers. Bertie raced back to tell Thomas that all was well. Thank you, Bertie, for keeping your promise, said Thomas. You're a very good friend indeed.
You're watching PBS Kids Sprout